Clovis people. How did they get their name? I was watching a Graham Hancock thing and great researcher, love his work. I need to get some of his books. I don't have any of his books. But I watch his documentaries and I've watched the Netflix season 1 and 2 of the Ancient Apocalypse. Very, very interesting concept. Um, so a place in New Mexico called Blackwater Draw is where they found all those arrowheads, spearheads from the Clovis people. Very, very finely knapped. And I like to, get myself some of those and put them on some bamboo or wooden shafts and see how well that works at hunting because they obviously were successful enough with that. You know, the old theory is they hunted the mastodon and woolly mammoths to extinction, etc. Saber-tooth tiger, which I very seriously doubt that. I mean, there's no evidence of that outside of the extinction event that killed everybody 13,000, 12,000 years ago, whatever it was. So we'll give the ballpark figure 13,000 years ago. But anyway, the older you go back, I mean, you could probably go out in your backyard and make a 3 foot by 3 foot square and start taking those little trowels and start digging up a little bit. You're going to find something. Okay. So there was great widespread human activity way back then. Archery. You'll find an arrowhead somewhere. And then you'll think, well, that's Native American. And you don't really know that. You don't know how far back it goes. You'd have to have it classified, spectral analysis, all this stuff, which is big money. That's a lot of money to get all that done. To get the age, carbon dating, if you want to call it that, spectral analysis, they'll give you a timeline of the breakdown of all the funky stuff that happens when things age. So you got to look at that. So that when you look at how archery from 70,000 years is the oldest that we have so far from a cave in Africa, which that's east, by the way, behind me. So east would be towards that direction. You really start to get into the history of archery, spears, atlatls, so on and so forth. And I'm so going to get the atlatl going. It's a lot more expensive. You get 5 foot darts. You get, I think, 3 of those on a stick and you throw it. So I'm going to get into that. But that's definitely an outside thing. There's no way you're doing that inside. You're not accurate on an 18 by 18 target, even at 5 feet. Well, you're going to have to back up farther than that because those things are 5 feet long. So you're definitely not shooting that inside. So that'll be definitely a summertime thing. And I'll get that and we'll get that rolling. But the thing is, when you look at how at Blackwater Draw, they found all the Clovis points and they said, we don't have any beer here. We're not going to call them the Blackwater Draw people. We're going to go to Clovis and get beer and bring it back. And we're going to call them the Clovis people. So they were named, the Clovis people legitimately were named after a beer run. And a lot of people don't get that. So it's one of those things, the archaeologists becoming creative. It's like, why are we going to call them Blackwater Draw people? There are no beer here. There is no beer here. So we're going to call them Clovis people because that's where the beer is. Yeah, there you have it. How the Clovis people were named. So, but like I said, that's a lot of archery history, a lot of spears. Like I said, atlatl type things. We think they hunted like that. There's a lot of depictions, artist renditions or renderings of the type of archery we think they did. That's just how everything rolled. Imagination mostly. So we'll get into that. We'll get some stone points. We'll get them on some wood shafts and we'll start popping targets and see if they hold up. Either they break or they don't break. They penetrate good or they don't. We'll find out. So stay tuned.